A couple of months ago, I'm standing at the same spot I keep speaking about, in the gym. I'm standing right there, and this beautiful girl is walking. She's gonna walk past me, right? She's like blonde gym girl, exactly my type. She's walking past me, and I just randomly just say whatever the fuck comes up into my mind. And I say, "Good morning. You look really happy today." It reminds me of a time when I was in my old gym back home, like years ago, when I had this yoga class in the morning, like a 7 a.m. yoga class. I'm about to walk through the door and I'm thinking, oh yeah, social skills, be social. Say good morning to everyone, like really loudly so that, you're like social and stuff, right? So I walk through the door. This is a few years ago. I walk through the door. Everyone, all these like older women are doing the yoga class. And I walk in and go, "Good morning, everyone." No one says it back. No one. Imagine like 15, 20 women who are doing yoga. No one says it back to me. They're all like, a few of them look at me weird. A few just completely ignored it. I grab my mat, set it down on the floor, grab my phone out and text my friend because I feel like fucking cringe that I've just like loudly just said like, "Good morning, everyone," in like a happy mood. But no one cared for it. No one responded to it. But here on this day, when I'm in Bali and I'm surrounded by more happy people who are more compatible with me, when I've got a smile on my face and I say to this beautiful girl, "Good morning, you look really happy," her smile gets even bigger and she says, "Oh my God, thank you. Well, yeah, of course. Like, I'm in Bali, I'm living a good life. You look really happy too." That was months ago. She just baked me cookies a few days ago. That's all it took. All it took to have this love and intimacy and sex and friendship in my life was just knowing that it was okay to just shout out an observation at someone and to just shout out and say good morning. If I had gotten butthurt from that time a few years ago when I walked into the yoga room and I said good morning and no one said it back and I felt so cringe. If I got so butthurt, oh my God, no one said it. Yeah, it's a bit cringe to do all this social life thing. I wouldn't have had just this experience just recently. I wouldn't have had it. I would have been so scared to talk to people. But I realize now that all those rejections that I've had previously, all those times that I've tried to be more social and I've tried to speak to new people, led to these moments where now I can do it in like quite a free flow and I end up like attracting the girl or befriending the guy. So in this module, I want to explain to you how to talk to new people. And we're going to just cover one extremely specific tactic. So this module shouldn't be too long. And the tactic, I promise you, is like the best way I have ever found to speak to new people. Basically how to cold approach a new person, whether it's a girl, a guy, whatever. In the previous module, we talked about your personality, your energy. You shouldn't script what you say. You shouldn't worry about it. You should just be in the moment, be spontaneous. Now I want to make it even more tactical. How should you actually start talking? How do you fucking open up your mouth to talk to someone? Like, what excuse? Should you ask them a question? What should you do? Here is the best way. Now, I've done all of them. I've done where you walk up to someone and you directly approach them and you say something like, let's say it's a girl, "Oh, you're really beautiful. I just saw you. What's your name?" That's a direct approach. Then there's been times where I'll ask like the cowardly questions. Like I remember one day years ago, probably like 2020, when I was first getting into like self-improvement and making my YouTube channel. I used to go for walks around my hometown and I wanted to like cold approach. And one day there was this couple, like two people my age that I saw. So I wanted to speak to them because I was like, not even to try and fuck the girl or anything. Just, to just level up the skill. I was like, "Excuse me, do you guys know where Sainsbury's is?" Like the supermarket that I've been to 100 times, that I know exactly where it is. And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's up that way, then to the right." I'm like, "Oh yeah, oh thank you, oh sweet." I've done those where I literally didn't even have the confidence to say what I actually wanted to say, that I literally was just practicing, like, asking like a basic ass fucking question. And I've done it in the gym where I go up to a girl and say, "Excuse me, like, do you know what time this gym closes?" Silly little questions where you don't have fucking balls to really say like what you desire or whatever. So all that to say, I've done a lot of these different kinds of approaches. I've done a lot of different ways to speak to people. And the tactic we're going to cover today is the best one by far. And it is specifically Shouting out an observation, shouting out your thoughts. Every word I've said there is important. The first word was shouting. I'm telling you right now, there's two different. I mean, to be fair, if your personality is very different from mine, maybe this is my own bias, right? But I'm telling you, there's two different ways for you to speak. Let's say there's two different volumes for you to speak to someone new. There's the low volume, the one-to-one volume, where when you see someone, let's say there's a girl you want to cold approach, or there's a guy you want to speak to. There's the low volume, the one-to-one volume, where you'll walk up to them in this one-to-one kind of space and you'll say, excuse me, oh, what's your name? You know, you'll be kind of quiet. You don't really want other people to hear. I actually find that version of me, the low volume speaker when I meet someone, is way worse, way less fun, and way less attractive. What I find is so much more effective is the sort of shouting volume where, imagine I'm in the gym, I'm on like the squat rack doing like overhead press, and I see someone walk in who's massive, and I shout across from the gym. So imagine if me and you are like 2 arms length away, right? This is like the one-to-one volume. You see someone, you're being kind of quiet. Imagine it's like where I'm stood to like where those kitchen lights are, like, you know, like 10 steps away. That's what I prefer, where I'll literally wave over at someone and shout, take my earphone off and shout something like, yo, you're massive, bro. How long have you been lifting for? You know, they're a little, and they're like, oh, 10 years. I'm like, oh, nice, man. Yeah, happy for you, bro. Boom. Put my earphone back in, boom. I much prefer that. That story I told you about with the girl when I told her, you look really happy. Now she made cookies for me. She was like what, minimum like 5 to 7 steps away from me. You know, she was walking towards me, and I didn't want to wait till she's like right next to me to be like, excuse me, oh, and she's like, oh, she gets shocked or whatever from a distance. So again, probably the same, like you can tell like I'm like 5 steps away from like the kitchen lights there and like this little shelf, the sink here. She's like a bit of a distance away. That's when I do the little wave and shout over, it's good morning, you look really happy today. I prefer that shouting kind of energy. For some reason, it feels easier to almost shout when you speak to someone new because they're further away than it does to be more intimate and get closer. Like imagine that specific scenario. The girl's walking towards me. She's literally walking towards, like she has to kind of like pass me to get to where she's going. The easier thing, which you might have done, is wait till she gets really close. But you know, imagine what would happen. You know it. Imagine you're waiting. There's a girl you want to speak to. You're kind of waiting for her to get really close. You can imagine 5 times out of 10, you'd probably just let her kind of go past and you'll be thinking, oh shit, oh yeah, she's got a really nice ass. And you just let her go. Just because you missed the chance. And the other few times that you'd speak to her, you could imagine 2 times out of 10, you'd speak to her when she gets super close. And she might even be like startled by you because you should have spoke to her when she was a few steps away. It's the same, like let's say in the gym. You could shout over at someone and they can see you from 10 steps away and you, oh, nice to see you. Good morning. How are you today? You can say it loudly. Everyone's happy. But imagine in the gym when you get super close to someone in their personal space and then you're trying to speak to them like, hey, hello, I just wanted to say you're really pretty. It kind of makes things way more creepier. Do you see the reason for this, right? So I know this is so specific, but the word I've always said in my mind now is shouting out at people. Like I literally will have like visualizations or goals or checklists like on my phone. Like I have like a checklist for like when I go to the gym. And one of the checks after like get ready, go to the gym, smile, fist bump the guy at the front, whatever. The check, like the point for when I'm in the gym is shout out at people. I'll literally go in and do my thing. So I'm loading up like the leg press, whatever. And I'll see someone on bench press. He's just finished his set. He's sitting back up and I recognize him. And I'll literally wave over, yes, bro, you good, man, whilst I'm like putting on the plates. You just see how easy that would be compared to me walking into his space, waiting for him to kind of like put the dumbbells down and then, yes, bro. And it's like, it turns into like a real conversation when all we needed was a bit of a like 5-second interaction to get a bit of social flow. Right? So the first word is shouting. The next key word of the phrase that I want you to follow, which is, okay, the way to speak to new people is to shout out observations at them, is the observations. Observations, I basically just mean, just say what's on your mind. The most stupidest thing ever. So I'll walk into the gym and there's a girl on the squat rack doing squats. She's just racked the bar. I will literally take my earphone off, get her attention, say like, oh, good morning, you're doing legs today. Think about that. Think about how stupid that is to say, you doing legs today when the girl's just done squat. Of course she's doing legs today. But that makes it so easy and stress-free for me. Instead of me going up to her, oh, hey, I just saw you were beautiful and I just wanted to speak to you. And by the way, what's your name or whatever? I literally just speak like a happy little retard. Hey, you're doing legs today. Oh, your arms are massive, bro. Oh, I've not done bicep curls like that for ages. Whoa, what movement's that? Why have you got the pin over there? Good morning. Oh, man, it's raining today. Like, do you see those simple observations? We're talking like fucking single-digit IQ observations. The observations that the version of you that's got fucking mental disabilities would still be able to talk about. Good morning, you're training legs today. Good morning, are you drinking a coffee? I just had a coffee too. I'm telling you, that is the most attractive version of you. I know it sounds ridiculous what I've just said, but I'm telling you, the Down syndrome version of you, the mental disability version of you, the 9 IQ or the 27 IQ, like, you know, most of us have got IQ of like 120 or something. The 20 IQ, not 120, but the 20 IQ version of us, the fucking brain damaged version of us is actually the most attractive one. Instead of you debating about what to say like we spoke about in the previous module, or instead of you trying to make it so serious like this fucking intense thing where you go up to a girl or a guy and you're trying to have a private conversation with them in the gym or whatever, instead of all that, just shout out what your brain says, which you just notice about them. Good morning, your outfit's really pink. That, bro, you'll fuck that girl the same day you say that. But the version of you that thinks about what to say, like, oh, good morning, you know, or like you're trying to like you're trying to like just fucking say something smart. Stop it. Good morning, your outfit's really pink. Good morning, oh, you training arms today? Are you training legs today? I just did legs yesterday and my legs are really sore. You speak like that, like that's the first word you say to someone. Good morning, you look really happy. Girls love that one. They love that. Let your brain just think about them for a second. Oh, she looks happy. She's smiling. She's wearing pink. She's doing leg day. That guy's really big. Whoa, that guy's calves are really big. Whoa, that guy's got really capped shoulders. That guy looks really happy. That couple looks really happy. Whoa, that guy's really tall. Whoa, that girl has got an interesting tattoo. That girl's reading a book, whatever. Your brain's making a fucking mental disability level observation, right? It's not even like a intelligent observation. It's like such a simple retard observation of like, that girl's reading a book. So what do you think you say? Oh, hello, excuse me. What book are you reading? Excuse me, you're reading a book. What book are you reading? Excuse me, you're doing legs, aren't you? That's all it takes. And I'm telling you, that version of you, just if you try it, I know it sounds silly. There's a few guys who are nodding their heads at this, like 100% I know what Hamza means. But a lot of like the intellectual, no offense, nerds are watching this thinking, no way. My philosophical question about the works of Carl Jung is better than this, bro. You're a fucking faggot and I can snap your fucking neck, right? Carl Jung or Adler, you're a fucking weirdo. Jung, we need to study some Jung. How about Freud? Like, shut the fuck up and just say to her, your outfit's really pink if she's wearing a pink outfit, and I guarantee you'll get your dick sucked the same day and you'll be there thinking about Jung while she's sucking your cock and you'll be thinking, oh, well, Hamza's better than Carl Jung. Fuck you, pussy, philosopher little dorks. You don't need to say anything fucking intelligent to these people. I'm telling you, you don't. At least not in the first conversation. That girl that I was speaking about in this module, the one I said you're really happy to, I've been dating her for months, right? And she knows the type of guy. I've had threesomes with her and stuff, okay? So she knows that, like, we're open, whatever. But she literally, like, me and her will now have intelligent conversations. We'll now speak about the masculine dynamic, the feminine dynamic. We speak about Jews and shit, bro. We speak about the subversion of the West. We speak about politics, drama, whatever. We have super intelligent conversations. We speak for hours now. But on the first day I met her, I literally said to her, good morning, you look really happy. That's all I said. That's all it took. Just think about that. Think about the months that I've been able to enjoy with this girl. That's all it took, was for me to just shout out the simple observation, you look really happy. If I tried to be smart in that first phrase, you know, the word I said to her, there was a 50% chance I would have not have even said anything at all, because when you're trying to sound smart, when you're trying to actually have like an intimate conversation with someone you've just met, you end up just fucking 50% of the time not even speaking to them because the pressure's so much higher. And the other 50%, you end up just giving them the bit of the ick where they're like, they're just kind of weirded out, like, why is this guy speaking to me? When you follow the tactic of this module, which is simply just shout out a retard level observation, I promise you, you will have your best foot forward. In the future, you can have the intelligent conversations with them. Let's say there's a guy at the gym and your brain thinks, whoa, he's got massive arms. So the version of you that follows this module would think, okay, he's got massive arms. Yo, bro, you've got massive arms. Yes, congratulations, bro. I'm happy for you, man. That's it. And then you go do your thing, whatever. You become friends with him after that, which we'll talk about soon, like what to talk about, how to develop friendship. Let's say you become friends with him. 3 months later, you're discussing the newest study that talks about the bicep activation, whatever. You get my point, basically. When you've got a friendship with these people, when you're fucking a girl, that's when you can start to actually show your intellect. That's when, if you've got a skinny neck, you can start talking about philosophy and Jung and Adler and all this gay shit. You can talk about that if you want. But in the first conversation with people, I'm telling you, the first sentence you ever say to a girl, let it be, or even to a guy, let it just be a retard level observation. Remember in the last module, I told you a few of my like social chat enjoyer modes, where there was that one girl who had the massive, like the fucking really nice body, and the 4 guys were staring at her, and I literally just said to her, yo, excuse me, you've got a sick physique. That was a retard level observation. I saw that she had a sexy physique, like a nice physique, and I just said to her, hey, you've got a really good physique. I said, you've got a sick physique. I think those were the exact words I used. That's it. Just make the simplest observation, whether it's about them or it's about the world or whatever it is. You go into the gym or to the party, whatever. Oh, it's raining so much right now. You see the girl who's tracking her lifts with a notepad, and you say, oh, you're using a notepad to track your lifts. I use this app on my phone that Hamza made me use. And she's like, oh my God, Hamza, I suck his cock. Oh, wow. Do you want to watch? He's got this chair in his bedroom. The big tip you need to understand, just shout out observations at the people you want to speak to. That is the specific tactic of how to speak to people who are completely new. You know how you've always heard this advice, like, just speak to new people, bro. Just speak to new people. I heard this advice for years, but it took me years to actually really try all the tactics of speaking to new people. Should you walk up to them and should you ask them a question? Should you walk up to them and introduce yourself? Should you not walk up to them? Should you wave or whatever? All those different ones. And what I found is, don't walk up to them. Shout over at them. Don't ask them a question. Oh, you can ask them a question, but make it an observation about something that's kind of happening right now or something that was on your mind. The final tip that I just want to re-emphasize, because I kind of spoke about it in this one, but I didn't really tell you, but it's the hand wave as well. That's big because a lot of people these days, they won't really know that you're kind of speaking to them because, it's a bit of a new thing for most people to get shouted over at by someone else. So I learned this tip years ago and I use it every single time. Whenever you're about to speak to someone new, even if it's clear that you're speaking to them, always give them a hand wave as well. So imagine you're a hot girl or you're like someone I want to speak to. This is the exact way my body language would look. Let's say I'm just like minding my own business. Then I see you. I'd go like this. Good morning, like that. Because if I just say good morning to you, I've done this before without the hand wave. I've spoke to people, right? Good morning, someone new. You look really beautiful, whatever. And I'm telling you, a lot of the times they would ignore it because they thought I was speaking to someone behind them, or they thought maybe I was on the phone, or they just, they basically were in a world, like a lot of the times someone doesn't actually look at you, right? That's the big thing, right? Because imagine you could probably speak to someone. If a girl looks at you and she looks for like 5 seconds, you could speak to her, of course, right? The hard thing is when they don't look at you. That's why you do the hand wave, right? This is a specific tactic. That day that girl was walking by, she hadn't even looked at me. She probably kind of saw, okay, there's a handsome fucking guy stood there, but she wasn't really looking at me. Most of the time, they're not actually looking at you. This is actually a big part of this module is that I should re-emphasize quite a lot to you is, how do you speak to someone who's not even looking at you? It's easy enough when someone's looking at you. All the tactics that I've spoke about today, they're ones that I've used for people who literally their eyes are not even on me. That's why you have to do this one. Imagine if someone's in the gym doing like chest press, like 10 steps away over there on the bench press. If I shout over and say, yo, big chest, bro, he's not going to take his earphones off. It's going to be too loud, whatever. But if you wave over at the guy, I'm I'm telling you, a hand wave, everyone notices. Try this next time you're in the gym, maybe with like a friend you know or whatever to begin with if you want to progressively overload. But just try this. Next time you're out somewhere, you want to speak to someone, give them a bit of a hand wave while saying something. Give them a hand wave. Imagine, okay, look, you're a hot girl in the gym with earphones on. You're minding your own business. I'm minding my own business. This is what I will do. I'll wave like this and be like, yo, you'll see my face, but you won't hear it. I'll do this. Be like, how many sets do you have left? Oh, whoa, you're using loads of weight for this one. And bro, I'm telling you, girls with earphones, guys in the middle of conversations, whatever, everyone's fair game. I'm telling you, like, there's been so many, you might be thinking, wait, no, I don't want to interrupt someone. I couldn't tell you the amount of times where I've went up to a girl who's got her earphones in and I fucked her the same day, right? Just, if you think like, oh, but she's got her headphones in, I don't want to disturb her. Another guy's going to disturb her and she's going to suck his cock the same day. So what? Are you just a fucking cuck? You're just going to let another guy, oh, because I just didn't want to disturb her music. What, you want to fucking medal? You want to medal because you're the nice cuck in the corner. Oh yeah, well, I'm the nicest guy. I didn't disturb her music, so now she can deep throat someone else's cock. You don't get a medal for being a nice boy who didn't disturb her music when she was in the gym or some bullshit. Stop being a fucking little pussy, right? Disturb people, bro. It's not that big of a deal. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, when you go up to someone and you speak to them, they'll have the biggest smile on their face because everyone's fucking lonely and everyone wants to be talked to. So don't you fucking like, she had her earphones in, so I didn't even speak to her. Yes. No, you're a fucking pussy. Don't you fucking act like a little cuck. Girls fucking love it when you speak to them in the way that we're speaking about today. The same with guys. But when someone has got their earphones in, which most of the time they will if you're in the gym or outside, whatever, I'm telling you, the hand wave like this, I'm telling you, overpowered. It's so overpowered. And also, again, I want to summarize what we spoke about today. First, the hand wave. This is how to speak to new people, right? First, the hand wave when you see them. They look over, they see you. You take your earphones off, they take theirs off, and you're shouting across at them. Not shouting because, like shouting at them, whatever. You're shouting because they're kind of far away, which means you've got to elevate your voice. You get what I mean, right? You're not shouting like a retard. Basically, you're doing this whilst they are like 5 to 10 steps away because it's so much more comfortable speaking to someone when they're 5 to 10 steps away. Even if people will hear you, it's okay. Because by the way, the people like you feel awkward about, like, oh, everyone's going to hear. They'll just think you know each other. They'll just think you know each other, bro. When I wave over at the gym, people kind of look over a bit. I'm telling you, they just think we know each other. They don't know it's the first time I'm speaking to this girl. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. And I'm also like, bro, if a guy, like, imagine it's a crowded gym and I shout over at this girl or I shout over this guy and, a few people kind of look over, oh, he's speaking to a girl. It's a flex. Like, bro, it makes you look cool as fuck. And they also just think, okay, he's speaking to this hot girl. Oh, the girl knows him because the girl's like, took a step towards him and she's smiling, whatever. And of course, bro, sometimes, literally today, I swear to God, sometimes you get rejected, right? Today, I'm sat on one of the sunbeds in this, basically the same fucking spot. The only time I leave my house is go to this gym. So basically all of my social life stories are about like this one fucking spot in this gym, right? I'm sat on one of the sunbeds. I've got a friend to my left, a friend to my right. And this girl walks in and I wave over at her and I say, good morning. And she kind of looks behind her and goes, me? And I'm like, yes, you. Like, good morning. I've not seen you before. What's your name? And she tells me her name. We start speaking. We're flirting a bit. I tell her, okay, I'm going to read to you. I've got a sexy voice. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay. Gives me her Instagram. And she said, oh, by the way, like, I've got a boyfriend. So then she walks off. Me and my friends look to each other like, what a fucking hoe. She gave me her number. She gave me her Instagram. We had this flirty conversation. She engaged in the conversation. She asked me what I do. She was, when I said, okay, I'll read to you as like our first sort of meeting, she was fine, whatever. And she said, oh, I've got a boyfriend. I'm like, what the fuck, whatever. We're talking about her. Another girl walks in from the same spot. And so I do the same thing. Good morning. She kind of looks a little bit, but she keeps walking. She literally keeps walking. And I shout one more thing. And I said, like, oh, I see you all the time. And she's like, oh, yeah, whatever. She looks at me for a second, keeps walking. Feels kind of awkward, right? Feels kind of awkward. But who gives a fuck? Bro, sometimes you're going to wave and shout over and a few people will kind of see it. And bro, it felt a bit cringe, right? Because, my 2 friends saw it. Probably a few other people, because the gym had some people there. A few other people would have saw it, that this girl kind of looked at me, kind of walked off, right? I'm still alive. My dick's still massive. I'm still rich. I'm still jacked. I'm still sexy. I'm still a good person. It's not that big of a deal. Sometimes you're going to be there, let's say in the middle of the gym. You're going to see someone you want to speak to. You'll wave over at them. They'll look at you. They'll take their earphones off. You'll say something like, "Oh, you're really pretty. What's your name?" And they'll put their NPC mode. "Oh, I need my tunes. Dopamine. I need my music, my playlist." Okay. Then you shrug your shoulders and just think to yourself, "Oh, okay, she's just a bit of an NPC. She's just a little bit anxious. That's okay. That's okay." And even if you don't want to insult the girl, you just think, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm just not her type." Simple as that. Just simple as that, bro. I like girls who are like gym thick. I've got some friends who only like really skinny girls. If a really skinny girl shows me some attention, bro, I'm like, if I have to. You know what I mean? It's not that interesting for me, okay? Fine. Does that mean she's a bad person? Does that mean that she's like less worthy? No, she's just not really my type. Right? The same with you. You have a type that like your friend has a different type. I probably have a different type to you. If we then go talk over to a girl and she acts like she's not very interested in us, we shouted over something and she kind of turns away. Why not just shrug your shoulders and just think, "Oh, well, guess I'm just not her type." That's it. Simple as that. It's not a big deal. Sometimes you're going to shout over and the person's going to kind of ignore it, whatever. But you know what's interesting? Sometimes you might even shout over in the same way to a girl that you're actively fucking or is your girlfriend, or even to a friend, and they might even kind of ignore it in a sense as well, because they've just finished this set in the gym, they're dysregulated, maybe they didn't really hear you, maybe they just wanted to they're staying locked in, they hear you, they smile a little bit, put the earphone back in. Imagine like your best friends in the gym. Imagine you've just got a really good friend. You speak to each other all the time. You live with each other, whatever. You're in the gym. He's just done a set. You shout over. You do this thing, and you say like, "Oh, that was a good set." And he goes, "Oh, thank you, bro." Puts his earphone back in. You'd be thinking, "Oh, well, yeah, okay, sweet." You go do your set. You wouldn't think anything about it. Now, if a new person does the same thing, you'd be thinking, "Oh, man, yeah, maybe I am a piece of shit, maybe I will cancel Hamza's Library of Adonis because I am a piece of shit, maybe I was like, I am an asshole." Like, you don't just be thinking all these stupid thoughts that you should never do and you should never act on. You'll just be thinking all this bullshit, basically. But actually, if it was the same situation with someone you knew, who you absolutely knew with certainty likes you, you wouldn't have thought it was anything weird if the person just gave you a quick short reply and got back to their workout. There's times, bro, I'll have like a lovely conversation with a girl. Lovely. Let's say I've even fucked her before and I know she likes me. But then in the next day in the gym, I'll see her, I'll wave a little bit, she'll kind of smile at me and she'll say hello, and she'll put her earphones back in. And I'm like, I'll get hurt a bit, think, "Oh, wait, does she not like me, whatever." And then I'll fuck her again the same day. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Like, bro, some people are they're in the kind of environment and, they're not ready to speak to someone. It's okay. I'm sure I'm like someone's asshole in their story. I'm so sure that there might even be someone in this community, or it's like some of our followers who have been in Bali, who probably think this way about me. Like, "Oh, Hamza's a bit of an asshole. I spoke to him the other day and he barely even spoke to me." What they don't know is like I needed a shit. They don't even know, right? Like maybe I was holding in a shit. You don't know. There's probably someone who literally thinks, I swear to God, think about this, of how many people who meet me. There's probably someone on the earth who literally thinks I'm a dickhead because I didn't even speak to them. Because, they said hello to me and I was like so short and I walked away from them. And that same moment, they don't know that I was just dying for a shit or a piss. Or I thought that I smell of sweat because I was leaving the gym. Or I had an appointment to go to or whatever. They don't know that. They just think, "Oh, he's an asshole." In truth, if they knew how I felt, that there was like a poo-poo inside of me that needed to come out, they'd be thinking, "Oh yeah, fair enough, Hamza's not an asshole. He's a good guy. He just needed a shit." It's the same thing with girls, bro. It's the same thing with girls, with the new people you speak to. Don't get so sensitive. If you shout out something and they walk away, like that girl who did today, she just kind of like looked at me a little bit. She spoke like a one word and she walked away. Don't get so sensitive thinking, "Oh man, like, it's embarrassing. I shouted out something and she didn't reply." Maybe she just needed a shit. Maybe she's late for something. Maybe it could have been fucking 8:59 p.m. and she has a Zoom call starting in 1 minute. Could have been. Right? You never know. Don't let anyone change your energy. The big tip to speak to new people is to just shout out an observation. And I'm telling you, I have done the work for you, the groundwork. I have experimented all the different ways. Should you walk up close to someone and have a private conversation a bit more quietly? Should you ask a question? Should you be more direct and give them a compliment? I'm telling you, shouting out a observation where you are about 5 to 10 steps away is literally the most effective way. And still, bro, you're gonna have some problems. Still, there's going to be a girl who's not really into you. Still, there's going to be a guy who kind of thanks you, then puts his earphone in and doesn't want to speak to you. But this is still the best tactic. Shout out an observation to the person you want to speak to. When they are about 5 to 10 steps away, give them a wave so they see you. This works really well when you've got earphones on and they do, because if they've got earphones on and you don't, it's a bit awkward because you're kind of like, can you take your earphones off so I can speak to you? But when you've got earphones on and they've got earphones on, you take yours off and they'll take theirs off, and you just say something like, oh, it's raining so heavily today. Oh, you're doing legs today. You just almost act as if you're like your friends or your lovers already. You've got that kind of friendly energy. You say that, you shout out the observation. It feels 10 times easier in a weird way to shout out the observation, even though people can hear it, compared to actually walking up to someone in the silent kind of mode. I almost never do that anymore. I hate doing that. I hate like walking up to someone and doing that. I way prefer shouting out across the gym, like 10 steps away, whatever, taking up some space, whatever. And I'm telling you, it's just so much more effective. So the way to talk to new people is to shout out observations at them straight after you've just waved at them to get their attention.